Welcome everybody to Michelle Davis Fitness, where this is your fitness family and support for your motivation and inspiration for your transformation. The show is live every Thursday, 1 p.m. on WCOBM.tv, and you can get more information on the Facebook page and Instagram page, and as well as MichelleDavisFitness.com. I want to give a big shout out to my guest, Ann Martinez. Hi, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's really nice to be back.
It's good to see you. And you were a blonde last time I saw you, so you've changed.
Yes.
And you had the geek glasses on, so a little bit different.
Yeah, I did a little different today.
So I thought I would bring Ann Martinez on because she's a singer and a performer at Baz the Show at the Venetian. And as we all know it, well, Vegas is filled with shows, but have you ever considered how a showgirl lives? You know, when do they sleep and how do they eat? And do they ever stop dancing? I mean, is that something that's possible? Well, it is possible, and that's why we're going to talk about it right here on the show. So Ann, how long have you been performing at Baz?
About a year.
Ann, tell me a little bit what Baz is about, the type of show it is.
Baz is it's a really cool musical compilation of the Baz Luhrmann films. So we have Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge, and The Great Gatsby. And all three love stories are happening at once. And it's live music, and it's absolutely very different and incredible. And so it's very much an experience to see the show.
And so I actually saw it a year ago. I was absolutely blown away. It gave me chills to hear people sing that well, because when you hear some people sing, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, stay where you're at. But this show is just absolutely incredible when it comes to the talent, when it comes to singing and dancing and performing. But you've been a performer your whole life.
Yes.
You've been singing your whole life.
Yes.
Tell me, as you were developing your singing and you were getting really serious into your career as a performer, how did you kind of live your lifestyle when it came to balancing the two, your life and resting and having friends and living a social life, but then again turning and being very focused and dedicated in studying your work?
It's been a big journey, especially from going from college to graduate school to actually working full-time in the business,
right,
where you're pretty much living out of suitcases all the time.
Absolutely.
You kind of get into your own schedule wherever you're working, be it tour or a sit-down regional gig, or some people travel abroad, the cruise ship industry, theme park industry, so you kind of get into your own groove, and it really is dependent on the show you're doing and the role.
Right.
Once I moved here, it was kind of getting used to the weather. Hot and allergies I'd never experienced.
Oh, and when you're singing with allergies, I could only imagine.
Yeah, so raw honey, local honey, really helps get the pollen into your system.
Local honey.
Yes.
Yeah. Because the antibiotics or the antihistamines, I think, one of the two in the honey actually helps curb the allergies.
Yeah, that's the first advice I give every singer that asks when they come here. But depending on the actual track I'm doing, I mean, I usually will run and sing on the treadmill just to get your heart rate up. That's and learning how to support your breath when you're doing a high energy show.
I always find that coffee ruins my vocal cords.
Yeah, and I love coffee, but only 1 cup a day, unfortunately, and in the morning. Hydration.
Yeah, you got to drink a lot of water. You got to stay hydrated all the time.
I usually I'll take a Pedialyte with me as well if it's a really hot day.
Oh, okay.
And have that backstage, only because it gets really dry really fast.
I bet.
So that's the best thing during a show for me.
Pedialyte?
Yeah, it has less sugar than Gatorade, and it just kind of keeps me hydrated to keep
that's good to know.
moving and
Do you pack a lunch or a meal or dinner with you when you go to work?
I try to eat a large meal midday. I don't like to eat right before a show.
Right.
Just because you're breathing so hard.
You're going to be burping it up as you perform.
Acid reflux and... Yeah, and a lot of times, and especially at Baz, we're in corsets. So you want to... And I actually like performing on an empty stomach.
Yes.
And just feel better, more energy. And,
right.
And then I usually eat late at night, which usually for a typical schedule isn't good, but for the schedule I live, it kind of works for me.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So as you were going along and kind of teaching yourself like eating right and drinking enough water and so forth, did you ever come across any health issues as a woman? We won't go into the monthly situation, but I mean, Did you ever have any health issues where it kind of held you back a little bit and you had to figure out, is this my diet? Is it something that is going on in my body? Everything like that?
I'm a big believer in eating for your blood type.
Okay.
It worked for me. I think with women especially, it's very important to listen to your body. Family history, your own genetics, what works for you, what feels right. I cut dairy about 10 years ago, and it was the best decision I ever made.
What were some of the symptoms you had before you cut that out?
I have never had a glass of milk in my life.
Really?
I've just never cared for it. And then when I did eat dairy, because I did love cheese, I would get sick.
Would you?
I just never sat well with me. I just thought that was normal.
Stomach aches?
Always. And it's not good for me vocally. So I cut dairy just as an experiment. And
it worked?
Never looked back. I also cut gluten 3 years ago.
Okay. And that's bread, rice,
I will have rice occasionally. Pastas, bread,
cereal,
wheats,
cookies.
Anything wheat.
Yeah.
Just for me personally, I felt better.
You know what's funny? I cut out rice. You know, I can have rice cakes, but I can't have actual rice. It just gives me the worst stomachache ever. So if with you it was gluten and dairy you cut out.
Yeah, and I think for me, I've always been able to digest and eat meat easily. It's never been a problem for me, and I actually feel more energized. If I'm feeling sick or cold coming on, I'll eat meat and I'll feel better.
Interesting.
But I have a friend of mine who, she's the exact opposite.
Is she?
But her blood type is AB.
And what's your blood type?
O positive.
Interesting. So finding your blood type, how would you decipher what your diet would be at that point?
Well, I read a book, Eat for Your Blood Type, when I was just kind of...
Eat for Your Blood Type.
Yeah, it's just kind of researching.
I got to go on Amazon and buy that like now.
Yes. Well, I think for women's health especially, there's so much coming at us with body chemistry, with genetics, with just how we are built as women. Some of us are petite, some of us are more curvy.
Right.
And I think it's really important to celebrate your body and also to really listen to it. If you're eating something consistently and it's really not making you feel well or dragging you down, it really is important to look at, what am I taking in? Am I eating too much sugar?
Right.
I used to eat way too much sugar.
Me too.
And I was, just sort of kind of cut it a little bit, and I did feel better.
Good.
So but I also think it's important to have a treat and not starve your body of certain things.
I'd have a lot of sugar and my ADD would be like, whee!
Oh God.
So I had to curb that a little bit so I could focus.
Yeah, I think it's all balance, and I think it's very individual. So I love hearing what other women do, what makes them feel good, and then I would just kind of see what was right for me, because I would feel exhausted, and I do 12 shows a week, so it's a lot of work.
Wow, and when are the shows airing at?
I do Baz 6 days a week at the Palazzo, and then I do the World's Greatest Rock Show 6 days a week at the Stratosphere.
That's amazing.
And they're both very physical.
Yeah.
And Baz especially, which I flip roles all the time, so it depends on what role I'm playing. So I've been playing Satine for about 2 months, and that role is very intense.
Gosh, you work all the time. What time do you go to bed at?
Usually around midnight.
Midnight, and what time do you wake up at?
I really try to make myself sleep in. I'm an early riser, but if I can get myself to really sleep in till 9 or 10, I've done well.
That's
and then
good.
Mondays I have off, and I take that day off.
That's good. I think you should come back and we should talk about what you do on a relaxing day.
Oh gosh.
With lots of relaxation.
Watch Game of Thrones, which I have to wait another year for. I'm so upset.
I know, right?
It's the worst.
But I'm so excited to go back to Baz and see you perform.
Oh, I can't wait. You'll love it. It's a great cast.
And give out the shout out to every your Alice in Wonderland steampunk show at the Red Rock.
Yes, we're at Red Rock. We will be there on September 25th. 9 p.m. is our pre-show, and 10 p.m. is showtime.
And we got to give a shout out to Jules Eve, EVE36 Photography.
Yes, she's absolutely incredible, and she did our media this year. So if you want to check that out, you can see it on our Facebook page and also our Instagram page, Alice Las Vegas.
You can go to ev36.com. Give out all your social media contacts.
I'm at Ann Martinez Las Vegas on Instagram, Ann Martinez on Facebook, and Alice Las Vegas on Instagram and Facebook.
All righty. Thanks so much for stopping by and being a guest.
Thank you.
I hope you guys learned some about being a woman and being a showgirl. That's right. Give them some respect. So don't forget, the show is live every Thursday at 1 p.m. on WCOBM.tv, and it's inspiration and motivation for all you women out there, and we love you all. See you soon. Bye.